What up, squad? Welcome back to the podcast. So today's episode is extremely special. I got my man, the one and only Derek Williams, aka Mr. Infinity, on the podcast today. And it's a very honest, vulnerable conversation. My man is in his mid-40s and he's still training and he still looks like he's in his 20s. I think this man has seriously found the fountain of youth. But we got into deeper things beyond diet and exercise. We talk a lot about consciousness. We talked about our journey as father. He has two sons, right? One of his sons is a D1 football player at Howard University. He has a son who is in his senior year this year. We talk about evolution, growth, healing. You know, we kind of get a little bit into his story, but it's a very insightful conversation where honestly, Derek kind of turned the interview around and we just, you know, it was just a conversation between three dudes who are on a spiritual journey, who are on a journey towards the best version of themselves. So I want you to listen to every single word of this episode. Make sure you follow all of us on social media. And without further ado, let's get into this conversation with my man, Derek Williams, aka Mr. Infinity. What up, squad? Welcome back to the We Are Gods podcast. Today I have my man, Mr. Infinity, who's a former pro basketball player who transformed his life, and he now dedicates his time to teaching others how to achieve peak physical and mental and spiritual form at 44 years old. Yes.
46.
Whoa, damn. Hold on, bro.
That is amazing.
Wait, what? This nigga is 46 years old, right?
46.
Looks no older than 20. I give him 25, right?
Yeah. Appreciate you.
And he's going to share some of the secrets to longevity, right? Because I just touched 40, you know. Willie is not too far behind.
Yeah, I'm 37.
You know, yeah. So we're going to be talking about the secrets to this Infinity Challenge, you know, the Infinity Challenge. All right. So let's dive right in, right? Because you have a very unique perspective on fitness, on mindset, on spirituality, on lifestyle. Please join me in welcoming my man, Mr. Infinity, to the podcast, bro.
Absolutely.
What's the deal, bro?
Hey, my pleasure, man. You know, I'm excited, man. Every time you hit me up, man, I know we gonna spark something. You know what I mean? We always create something, man, pull different thoughts, man. So it's always a mastermind with you. So I'm excited to chop it up with you, Brix, man. Congrats on hitting 40 too, man. Some people don't make it.
Yes.
You know,
that's a fact.
You looking good too, babe. You looking good. You looking better and better every year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a blessing to get old. It's a blessing to get old.
Nah, for sure, man. And as cliche as it sounds, it's one of those things. As a kid, I never even thought about reaching my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't even, like I didn't even think about life beyond 25, right? So, and that's a common thing where I'm from, you know? So yeah, right. Man, it's a blessing, like you said. So we're gonna talk a lot about how to optimize life, right? In your current place in life, in order to be able to have these conversations where, you know, you're 46 years old, you know, still dunking a basketball, still in pristine physical form, right? So tell us a little bit about your origin story, right? Like where you're from, what was your dreams and aspirations as a kid, and then kind of how you got into this fitness industry?
Yeah, man. As you know, man, the game is infinite, man. And so it's kind of it's coincidental, ironic that my name is Mr. Infinity, because you just realize over time, man, that life is infinite. We've been here for infinity. We're gonna be here for infinity. When you realize who and what you are, man, it's like the game changes. Like, you know what I'm saying? But my origin story, man, I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, man, and I was just like any other African-American inner city kid, man. You either gonna play sports, or you gonna be in the streets, or you gonna be in trouble some kind of way. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like where all we saw growing up. Like, you know what I mean? But I chose the route of basketball, man. So that's all I did, man, growing up, playing basketball, just hooping.
Obviously, you know, you and I, we've been in touch for a few years now, right? And I know you're so much more behind the physique than diet and exercise and your professional athlete days. Talk to me about how spirituality and the awareness of the impact of your mindset became a part of your, you know, like, how did that become a part of your awareness?
think, man, honestly, like I originally started by saying, man, this game is infinite, right? Like we are the imagination of ourselves. And I feel like if anybody that travels down any core um artistic lane deep enough always gets to the root of who and what they are, that they are the creator of their experience. They are they are the maker and shaper of their reality. Like, you know what I mean? And when you get there, when you get to the core of who and what you are, man, you realize, man, everything is light. You know what I mean? Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating at a certain frequency, and your circumstances reflect the frequency you're operating on. You know, so a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of religious dogmas and there's a lot of control and systems around trying to keep people small and playing a low vibrational game, for lack of a better word. But I just came to that realization, man, like, man, this is deeper, man, than I thought it was. Even just like being in fitness, man, and being in understanding what you put in your mouth, man, has an impact on different levels of your reality, how your mind works, where your thoughts are coming from, depending on the frequency you're operating on is the level of information that's coming into your auric field. Like, you know what I mean? So I just started like learning, like, damn, like this shit is deep. And I was considered a weirdo in my town. Like, when I went vegan, when I stopped doing certain things, when I stopped going out, when I stopped listening to certain music, I was kind of casted out from my family, from my friends, from a lot of environments. But man, when the truth hits you, it's like, I mean, even now, it's still hard for me to accept, man, damn, this is really the truth, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because 99.99% of people are operating like in darkness. Like, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's just like, you an odd duck out here walking around the street, you know?
Nah, I know all about it.
You feel me though, Brix?
Yeah, you know, I know, man. We've had those type of conversations before, and I definitely resonate with a lot of what you just said.
Yeah,
so the name of this,
so really to answer your question specifically, I feel like it just came from going deep enough into the health field, the fitness field, to realizing, man, bam, this is what it really is. It's not about, you know what I mean? These are tools and these are aspects of it, but it goes much deeper than what we could even fathom. But man, and I feel like, and you guys can answer this question. That's why I want to ask you guys: do you feel like it's never like the flowers never gonna stop blooming? It's always lessons in this. It's always like it's like a spiral. You think you get the lesson, boy, that lesson come back a little bit, and you go a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that, Brix?
You're right, man. It's like, and I feel like, and I say this all the time, whenever you feel like you've got the lesson, that's a trap. Whenever you feel like you've arrived, if you have any feeling of arrival or, you know, I got it, it's a trap, and it's usually gonna bite you in the ass, you feeling that way. So always having this mindset of open to continuing to learn, and always having like a beginner's mind about life in general, I find to be a very valuable perspective, right? Always just being open to expanding, you know, of course, acknowledging growth, but also not getting trapped in the ego, you know, because I've been there, right? Where the ego experiences all this growth and this insight, and then all of a sudden you put your guard down, right? Because you feel like, oh, I figured it out. And then next thing you know, a situation from an old pattern comes back very much alive and bites your ass, you know, bites you right in the ass. So like you said, just understanding that the growth and evolution cycle is everlasting, and just always just being open to that idea is pivotal, right? But I think a lot of us need to go through, you know, having some turmoil introduced to us by our egos in order for that to land. And I definitely have, you know, in several ways. And I'm in the middle of a very deep dive into my shadow lately, where I put out a intention to tap more into authenticity and to really free myself from judgment, right? Judging other people, because it's really just a projection of the judgment that I have for myself. right? I put out, you know, maybe a few months ago, bro, it was like a deep intention to really be able to take masks off, right? I realized that I've been wearing masks in certain situations, especially in my content. And boy, did I not know the can of worms that I was fucking opening by asking the universe to reveal more levels of authenticity for me to see myself in a more authentic way. Bro, what? Bro, I've been in the motherfucking vortex of darkness coming up, bro, from deep down in the midst of, you know, in the depths of my subconscious, and it's revealed things to myself that I needed to see, but it's the most uncomfortable thing, bro. Listen, I understand why people choose to stay in the dark or choose ignorance when it comes to the realities of being alive, bro. I truly understand it.
I'm jealous.
I'm fucking what? Hell yeah, bro. I'm extremely jealous because that ignorance is truly bliss, right? It's truly bliss. It's so much harder to be aware of all of these things that we're talking about, bro, because the awareness almost makes you an exposed nerve, if that makes sense. You feel me? Like, I'm hypersensitive to all things about the life experience. I wouldn't take it back, but it's also fucking hard, bro, because it's like, yeah, I no longer am blessed with the ignorance that I had before I was, you know, I woke up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this probably, man, you can speak to this too, man. This probably the hardest, like, it's going through that journey of awakening, man, is probably the most gut-wrenching, just tragic, just like hardest thing. It's like,
Bro,
you know
the
what I
word
mean?
tragic is so fitting there, bro. For real.
Cause you have to, once you realize, man, that you are the creator, man, you have to do the inner work. You cannot play victim no more. You can't blame nobody. You can't just go out here and be reckless because you know the consequences of that. You know what I mean? The cause and effect of that relationship. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, it's like, you know
And
what
it's
I mean?
such
It's
a messy process.
The fear of God is real. That's basically
Yeah, yeah. And spiritual growth, right? And waking up, just waking up in general, bro. It's such a, bro, it's a fucking roller coaster, bro. It's, listen, bro. It's scary. It's exciting. It's exposing. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I've manifested situations, right? I've called people in with this intention recently that I haven't been able to hide from, right?
Wow.
And to have someone in such close proximity that all of my normal defenses don't work against has been a fucking life-shifting experience. You feel what I'm saying? But again, it's like when you call, it's like where they say, be careful what you wish for, right? Because a lot of the times we don't understand what is involved in the things that we're asking for, right? We're asking for the end product, not considering the process. You feel what I'm saying? We can't get the end product. We can't get the wish without the process. So the process of what I'm calling in is ugly, bro. It's dark. It's heavy. It's fucking treacherous.
Bro.
But that's where the evolution of the spirit happens, right? That's where you sharpen your mind. This is where you sharpen your spirit. This is where you develop utilities. This is where the magic happens. It's in the muck, bro. It's in the muck of these really fucking tough, challenging, dark, damp crawl spaces of your life. You feel what I'm saying? And it's tough, man. But again, I do miss the ignorance, but I would never go back, bro. Every ounce of the challenge in this is worth it.
You know what, bro? I feel like people need to talk. Like, you give me chills talking about that, man. That comforts me as a brother to know, like, man, we all going through this evolution. We all going through this awakening together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like more people need to talk about that. Like, nigga, this shit is not all sunshine and rainbows, nigga. This is like deep, dark, like you got to go through generations and generational traumas, and like you got to deal with your ancestors, and you got to deal with your, you know what I mean, your Akashic records, man. You got to deal with all this pain that your, you know what I mean, your forefathers had to go through, and everything is inside of you dealing with so much, you know what I mean? And then as a Black man, society just looks at you as this, and I'm not gonna use no negative terminology, but a lot of people just look at us as utility a lot of times, right? You know what I mean? And we know we are deeper than that. We know our power. We know our potential. We know that you know what I mean, we are climbing this, you know what I mean, this infinite mountain, you know what I mean, with everything pulling us down. Like, you know what I mean? But we don't have really an outlet a lot of times. We don't have, I mean, obviously you got your boy Will, but sometimes people going through this, man, and feel like they going crazy, man. Like a lot of people like spaz out, you know what I mean, when they start this healing journey, man, because this is not for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? Because you open up a lot of portals, a lot of corridors, a lot of light. Because when this consciousness is light, and light is information, and it's knowledge, and it's energy, and it's spirits, and it's so much connected with that people don't understand. They just think it's gonna be a smooth sailing thing. Read a book, meditate. Nah, man, that's opening up a lot of light, and light is information, and with information comes different energies, man. And you and all this energy, you don't understand that they don't always want you to they don't want you to ascend. Like all this energy is not for you. Yeah, I mean, it's a deep game. That's what I'm saying, though. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize the depth it goes. You know what I mean? And right now, when we live in this capitalist society, man, a lot of times, man, we almost gotta put a blind eye to that and just get out here and get the cash. Because you gotta survive, man. We got kids, we got bills, we got expenses, we got, you know what I mean? A lot of people around us don't understand what we going through, so they just like, bro, where the money at, man? I need this, I need that, man. Get this content out or whatever. But like, you know what I mean? A lot of people are really like dealing with energy that's sometimes not even our own. You know what I mean?
For sure, bro. I feel like, you know, certain people are chosen from each generation to kind of help the ascension, right? To contribute to the evolution, to break the cycles. And I feel like when you're chosen to play that role in your family, in your community, it just comes with a lot, bro. There's a lot of blessings, but it also is extremely challenging, bro. It's a very heavy load to carry, for sure.
Yeah. But like you said, man, we wouldn't want it no other way. Like, you know what I mean? We built for it. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, we definitely built for it. What's up with you, Will? What was your enlightening moment, man? When you come into like consciousness?
I think for me, it really was after my divorce. I think after I had a divorce, I think originally I thought everything was outer. I thought like if I just fixed like my weight, if I thought I would fix the money, I thought all those things that I desired was going to come to me. And then when I realized that just the outer shell of myself was just the beginning of like this whole new mind, and I started to learn things even through my relationship with Brix. Like I always tell him, he's like, the dope thing about having somebody you look up to is they're almost like 3-4 years ahead. So like I was getting to places like that he was already telling me about like a year ago, 2 years ago. So I started to like think about, okay, what's next for me? And so I think for me, like even listening to you guys, I'm still like learning like there's so many levels to this. And like a lot of these concepts and books I'm just starting to ingest. So it's like, it's really dope to hear you guys talk and obviously have the wisdom. And then obviously me being much younger in my level of consciousness and understanding that there's still levels for me to unpack feels super dope. But I think I've been on this journey now just of consciousness now for like probably about 4 years.
Okay, dope, man. So the divorce was like the pinnacle point where you realize, man, it's an inner game.
Yeah, the divorce was actually freeing for me. Like it was like something that I wanted to do. It was something that felt like almost like a second life. Like it was something that I decided I needed to do. It was like getting rid of a decision that I made from a very low vibration space and really opening myself up to this new version of myself. So for me, like some people look at divorces as negative. Like for me, it was like, it was dope. It was like a changing point for me to kind of like start understanding who I was outside of that space. And it was probably a space I never should have been in. So it was like, it felt like an accomplishment. Like It was, you know, being able to be man enough to be able to know that this space doesn't serve me and be able to be man enough to be able to communicate that and make a move.
I love it, man. Yeah, rebirth, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
Hey, Brix,
definitely.
let me ask you a question, man. What? Because one thing I'm realizing, or even like dealing with at this point, is like we've been programmed from such an early age, man. They figure 0 to 5, 0 to 7 is really where we pick up a lot of our habits, a lot of our mental, um, just how we see reality, for so to speak. So how did you? And I know you said you did that retreat with your boy out there. I think it was Tulum or DR, somewhere you was at. But do you feel like that is a good way to go in there and do some rewiring, so to speak? Because there's a lot of things coming up for me that I'm like, man, like that was given to me by somebody else. That's not a belief system I want to hold. You know what I mean? There's a lot of belief systems I'm seeing come up that, man, that's like, that really not my belief system.
Yeah, nah, the plant medicines ceremonies have definitely opened me up to more of what's going on in the shadows of my subconscious, right? But it was a lot of preliminary work that had to happen in order to be able to allow the medicine to assist me. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't just suggest people to just jump into plant medicine, as this like fix, for their mental health or for them to evolve spiritually. Nah, I think you kind of got to be at a place where you have done enough work on yourself and you have sharpened your spirituality and your consciousness to the point where you're able to really take the experiences that the plant medicine will facilitate and leverage them properly. You feel what I'm saying? I think, like we said, it's a never-ending journey. Being able to understand more about how your childhood conditioning and your childhood experiences and traumas and et cetera have contributed to where you are today. It's unfolding constantly, bro. Like I've been on this, I guess, consciousness journey now for maybe about a decade, and I still feel like I'm in the first 3% of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Bro.
Yeah, like it's like I'm still butting up against limiting beliefs daily. You feel what I'm saying? Still, even with this level of intention that I've been living with for so long, and this level of consciousness that I've grown, it's still like I still feel like a infant in this journey, and that's just the nature of it, right? I don't think any spiritual, true person who's truly tapped into their spirit is gonna ever describe it any other way. You feel me? Like you could have been on this journey for 50 years. You're still gonna feel that way. You feel me? Like I've heard Ram Dass say shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? In his 80s. So it's never this, and that's the thing, like spirituality and awareness on the level that we're talking about it, it's really about understanding and discerning where your ego is coming into the conversation, and what filter your ego puts on your experiences. And I talked about how I'm in this season right now where I'm just doing some deep shadow work, and a lot of it is around my ego, bro. It's like recognizing all the choices that I've made over the last decade that were through my ego mind, and how it introduced almost a cancerous presence to my life. You feel me? Yeah. Like the choices that my ego has made have been very, it has done a lot of fucking damage, bro. Like there was a lot of self-sabotage that I wasn't aware of that came from, all the things that the ego introduces, right? This fucking need to feel accepted and this need to, present myself in a certain light, right? Whether that be, how, what my girl look like, what my car looks like, right? How, what's the aesthetic of my crib, or what shoes I'm like. That shit is still something that I'm trying to unlearn and kind of shift my values around. And I've been making steps in that process, man. But really seeing the damage that my ego's mind has done in my life, bro, has been has been very fucking awakening, to say the least, bro. And I'm in the middle of kind of like, you know, atoning a lot of the sabotage that my ego mind has done, man. So it's a fun, ugly, messy, challenging process, man. But I'm grateful for the awareness, man. It's like, and I still feel I feel supported by the divine in ways that makes me feel like a superhuman, you know? So despite the challenges that I'm describing, there's still this underlying sense of peace. No matter how tumultuous the reality in my 3D gets, bro, I still feel very like supported and it just all feels like this is all a part of the purpose. It's all a part of making me into the person that's going to be able to serve on the level that I've been assigned to serve. So I always see value in every fucking second of the challenge. And I'm so happy for that perspective, because if I didn't, I would fucking lose my mind, bro. I'll probably be sniffing lines of coke and fucking, you know, buying hookers and shit, bro. if it wasn't for my awareness, truly, bro.
Tell me, man, I see some people just put their head in the sand, man, and not never want to come up. But I love you, man, for saying that and being that vulnerable and that open and honest, man, to just admit that, because that's a challenge to even admit that, man, my ego was in the way. I created some shit that just ain't pretty, like, you know what I mean? That and bringing awareness to it, like, you mean, that's for a man, that's tough to do sometimes, man.
And it's
admit they fucked up.
For sure, but the ego is so fucking creative and devious, and the level of justification that it fucking presents in some of these decisions that you feel in your spirit deep down when you're doing them. It's like you feel that something's off about this, but your ego fucking like paints this beautiful picture of justification of, you know, and it's like, but I'm just so grateful, man, because a lot of that shit happens in men's life and they don't see it ever. You feel what I'm saying? They don't see it. They just slowly start to deteriorate because of their lack of awareness around what's behind some of the choices that they make. And, you know, we all know the 50, 60-year-old man who is still a fucking kid in his head. You feel what I'm saying? They may have the house, the wife, the kids, the family, but still that level of like conscious maturity is not there. And I feel blessed, bro. Like, yeah, life is kicking my ass, but I know at the end of the day, all of these experiences I'll be able to leverage to serve and to lead men with, you know? So that's part of the price you pay for leadership and for being a generational curse breaker, as cliche as that shit sounds. Like, that's the price you pay, bro. There's a spiritual price to pay for spiritual growth and spiritual leadership.
Yeah, man, damn. Hey, that's strong, bro. That's strong. You might have to cut that piece out for me. I'm gonna have to listen to that. That's strong, though. Seriously, man.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, man. Wisdom is crystallized pain, I feel like, man. Like, you know what I mean? That's just like, that's what it come with, man. You can't get wisdom without pain, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and so we going through it. But like you said, it's one thing about you, though. I feel like, yo, like that New York, that confidence, that bravado, like I feel like that ego, you need that ego though a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of Brix too at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, yo, that's how you draw. That's your inner show. That's your magnet. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's about learning to use it instead of it using you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm trying to tune now, right?
Yeah.
And making sure that it's not responsible for choices that, you know, that don't support the mission. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's a fine line there. I agree. I'm not villainizing the ego. It may sound like that. I don't want to villainize the ego. The ego has an extremely important job, right? Yeah. But it's about really being in control of how it manifests and what it inspires, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Give me a specific, man. Like what is like? Is it that sometimes your lower self needs to be validated? Is it like sometimes your lower self is like searching for like something, or sometimes your lower self is in fear? Like what are some practical things so the audience and people can kind of understand what the ego does to kind of trick us into feeling like wants to be, 'cause the ego do not want to lose. It don't want to lose you, man. It want you to, it wanted to feel like, you know what I mean, it's in control, that it, you know what I mean, it don't want to die off. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's why even these conversations is going to inspire my ego to even try to turn up on me even more. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what it does. Whenever the ego feels threatened, that's when it like really attacks you. But to answer your question, bro, like for me, you know, as a kid, man, like I had a very challenging childhood, and I had a very complex relationship with my mom, where I didn't grow up with, you know, the maternal love, right? That is so vital in the development of a human, right? Right. There's tons of studies that talks about, you know, that really illustrates the power of like affection and touch and words of affirmation in kids. So I didn't really have that. So inside of me, there's still this void of wanting to feel loved and validated and important that I didn't really have, right? So what I noticed as an adult, my ego uses that, right, that void. And I obviously, this is all in hindsight. I'm not able to recognize this while I'm making these choices, but it's like, all right, my validation is, oh, you know, look at my body, right? Look at my girl, you know, like look at the aesthetic of my crib, or my, you know, the designer, this and that. Like it manifests in that way, where I am making decisions. So let's just talk about my past in choosing women, right? Because that's a big place that it has manifested for me, right? There was a season of my life where my values were totally out of whack, right? Yeah. I would value aesthetic over substance. You feel what I'm saying? I would value, okay, what is this, you know, what is this, having this young, beautiful baddie by my side, it almost validated me as a man. Whereas that should have never been the case. You feel what I'm saying? Like I should have, it caused me to ignore certain red flags. You know, I hate that term, it's kind of overused, but it caused me to overlook certain red flags or certain levels of, you know, misalignment, because it served my ego. It served the purpose of my ego so well, right? That my ego kind of blocks that shit from my consciousness, and it just makes me focus on, all right, what does this do for it, right? The ego, like how does it present? What are people thinking of you because they see you, you know, your girl is this, that, and like it led me to making choices that really were out of alignment with my values. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know my values. I know I can articulate to you that, alignment in the non-physical is way more important than physical attraction. I can say that to you, right? I've always been able to say that to you. And but my choices haven't reflect that, right? I'm not gonna say any names, but Willie, you know exactly, what I'm talking about here. You feel me? So that's just one way that the ego has manifested in my decision making, which has caused me to make certain choices that just weren't smart. But I learned powerful lessons. So I'm kind of on the fence on whether I would even undo it. I know I wouldn't undo it. You feel what I'm saying? Because now I can even have this conversation. I can say these things that's going to give someone else the heads up, right? Possibly. So I think everything happens exactly how it's supposed to, but I think I make my life a lot harder than it has to be because of the contribution of my ego in my decision-making in the past. But I've obviously learned a lot. I'm pretty sure there's way more to learn still. But yeah, that's one way for sure, in my choices with women. Man.
Hey, where do you think that void is? 'Cause I see that a lot in our community, man, the men and the women in the Black community, that they feel like they have to wear a certain thing, drive a certain car, had a chain on, like go to this restaurant, and they have to like stun on social media. I really feel like what do you feel like that void is in us, or what are we lacking as a collective consciousness? That is it. What's that rooted in? What
I
what
think
what trauma? What generational trauma is that rooted in? Because I see that, man, all across the board, and like you said, it bubbles up when we in unawareness. We unaware that we buying this for validation or for the external appearance. But yeah,
I have something I want to share about on that because I think it's rooted in two things. And somebody shared this with me, and I think it's something we haven't really thought about. I think number one, it goes back to the original thought that you talked about when you first got on here, and Brix said it. And I think there's a tie here around longevity. A lot of times, young Black men, especially, we don't even believe we're going to grow to be 60, 70, 80 years old. So our mindsets are very short term mindsets. So that's what makes us chase the very short term outcomes: money, cars, clothes, and women. Like we don't expect. We need everything fast. Does the stuff we're talking about, the healing, the growth, that's longevity. That's I got to spend 5, 10 years in consciousness to get to where I want to go to. I may not even be alive, but if I go get this bag right now, shit, I can enjoy it for the time that I'm here. And then number two, our music has like, again, and I'm a big hip hop fan. This isn't a referendum on it, but music told us at a very early age, validation came from money, cars, clothes, and hoes. That's how we were taught a status symbol for men. Like you think about back in the day in monarchy times, kings wore jewels and crowns. That was our modern day kings and jewels and crowns. It was like the beautifulest women, the jewelry, the house, the car. That's validation. And men were competitive. So we felt that for us, in order to say that we are the top dog, we needed these things.
damn, you said so. That's a mouthful right there, boy.
I think it also goes back to slavery, bro. So it's just ancestral, right? We felt our best, right? We felt validated on Sundays when the slave owners let us put on nice clothes to go to church, right? So that it goes as deep as that. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of it is just conditioning. It's bro, Black people consume. I forget the exact percentage, but we are the biggest consumers of things, right? If Black people stop buying shit, bro, this entire economy would crash. You feel what I'm saying? We buy the most shit. So it's conditioned, right? It's especially me growing up in New York City, bro. I could not go to school on Monday when the Jays dropped. If I did not have them shits, I was gonna get roasted, bro. It was like life or death almost, bro. Not to even sound dramatic, but if you weren't fresh in school in New York City, you were nobody, bro. Nobody. Fashion was such a huge part of the culture in New York City. So a lot of that was conditioned in me as well. Like to this day, bro, like I can go to the gym, my shoes gotta match. You feel me? Like I gotta have on a dope pair of kicks and a fly fitted. Like it's just so ingrained in me, bro. And I'm now in the process of like trying to unlearn that, like to reverse that conditioning, because it doesn't serve me, right? It serves these fucking labels. It serves, you feel what I'm saying? Like it's a facade. It's all fake, bro. So yeah, man. But that's how, you know. Yeah, for sure.
We were taught to be billboards for these big corporations, man. Like you know what I mean? Man. But both of y'all said a mouthful, man. So basically, go back to self-worth.
For sure.
Self-worth issue.
Yeah. It's like that's what especially like I said, growing up in New York City, bro. Your value was connected to your aesthetic. Like what you have on, what designers did you wear, you know, what did you drive, what you have on your feet. Like that was your value, which is some bullshit. And I hate that I feel like I kind of passed it to my kids. You feel what I'm saying? Like my son. And I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, bro. Like these kids nowadays, bro, it's a different generation, and I think they even got it a little worse, right? Because social media has you know compounded the impact of this shit that we're talking about by 100x. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, what a time to be alive, bro.
What? I'm grateful though, man. To be honest, man, it's a beautiful time. right?
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. What a time to be alive,
for
man.
sure.
Like, we're really in the gold rush right now, really. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? As far as, like, with all this new technology, with AI, with all these apps, and with all these, like, anybody with the ability to
Cryptocurrencies
focus.
and yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
Crypto,
with crypto, yeah, all this, man.
man. Like, we in the gold rush right now, but anybody that can, stay focused and not attach themselves to the illusion, man. That's the people that's really gonna win and really succeed out here, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
just
that's
can't
the key,
attach
though.
yourself to it.
And that's
You
the
know what I mean?
key. It's like to be a part of it, but not to be of it, right? It's like that's the key right there, right? To not kind of get caught up in all these shenanigans is the challenging part. But those are the ones who are gonna really, rise to the top. Is those who can really like separate themselves and use it as a tool, and not be so caught up in the shenanigans, as I like to call it. It's fucking shenanigans, bro.
That's a lot of shenanigans, man. How's your relationship with social media right now, man? You got a healthy relationship with it?
Oh yeah, let me tell you, man. I recently bought this thing called a Brix, right?
Sure.
And what it is, it's a device that I literally lock my apps, right? And I have to tap this brick in order to unlock my apps. And I keep this brick in I'm not when the apps are on my phone, I do subconsciously scroll social media. But when I'm off social media, I don't crave social media. I'm not like, oh my God, I don't have that sort of addiction to it. So when I'm bricked and my brick is on the fridge and I'm out or I'm in my room, I'm not about to get up to go unbrick just to scroll social media. So I've had this thing now for a month and it's been a game changer, bro. I've noticed that my mental health is better. My focus is better. My productivity is better because I have more control over when I'm actually participating. And it's the perfect solution for me because I honestly look forward to being away from this shit completely. Like that's the goal eventually, to have everything so automated to where I never even got to touch this shit. You feel me? I still want to contribute. I still want to create content that lives forever, that serves people, but I don't want to be caught up in this shit. I don't want to be a consumer of it at all. At all, So that brick has been a good tool for me to help me improve my.
Where you get it from?
I ordered
Amazon?
online. Nah. It's a startup company right now that they're selling it directly from their website. But I'll send you the link, bro. It's been a game changer for me. What about you, Willie? What's your relationship like with social right now?
No, I probably, like I said, probably spend a little bit too much time on social media at this point. I think for me, I don't watch a lot of TV, a lot of different concepts. So like for me, I use YouTube and Instagram kind of like to feed like my information. So I always look at, hey, anything I'm interested in, I look for social media to give it to me in bite-sized formats. But I don't probably use it like in a way to like care about other people's like necessarily like lives or what they have going on. But I do use it for like news and like learning about things that I'm interested in.
What about you, D?
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm gonna order that brick. I'll tell you that. I feel like sometimes it's an easy, like sometimes when upheavals come up and when I want to feel certain emotions, I feel like I might grab that. Might be my little drug of choice right now. Like you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I'm with you, man. In game for me is completely like. Ultimately, I don't know if this is my first time even saying it to myself. Like, I don't even got to be the Mr. Infinity character, bro. I don't even got to be on social media at all. Like, if I could, like, I don't feel like that is a healthy. I don't really feel like it's healthy, bro. To be honest, because you know what I mean. Because you literally going into different realities and different portals like over and over and over again. When your focus is your most valuable, your attention is your most valuable commodity. Like, you know what I mean? So you were just giving our attention up freely. And it's like, man, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes, and I feel like they did such a good job understanding our consciousness more than we even understand it, that they understand human psychology at such an elite level. Like, I don't even want to compete with them. Like,
Yeah, nah, for sure, bro. No, for sure.
That might sound a little weak, bro.
No,
but
I
I'm
don't. No. Bro, listen, if you watch The Social Experiment, right? All these documentaries on this whole social media game and what they're doing to our minds, bro. That shit is real, bro. So my end goal, honestly, bro, I'm going to look at some property this year in Belize. You know, I want to build a retreat center there, right? And have like a whole bunch of like healers with different modalities and make it like an escape, right? Because what's happening is, as social media becomes more powerful and as fucking artificial intelligence and alternate reality, right? All these fucking glasses and shit, it's gonna really start to really deteriorate the mental health of the collective, right? So the vision for me is to have a center where when you lose your mind from all that shit, you come here to find yourself, to disconnect, to unplug, to get closer to nature, to, you know, really have some time away from that shit to recharge and then go back, right? But I have this vision of being able to support the healing of the influential people of the world. So it'll be a luxurious situation, but it's all about getting away from the bullshit and connecting to self. And then we'll do like plant medicine and we'll do different modalities, right? Depending on what's going on with the individual. But that's the vision, bro. The healing center. I'm calling it the Bridgehaven, right? Because that name, and this is supposed to be an interview about you, bro. What the fuck? I'm over here talking about my shit.
You said we just chopping it up, Brix.
He been to that. He been to that.
Yeah,
he been
see,
on the
Nah, yeah, but Bridgehaven, just to kind of wrap up a little bit about Bridgehaven. So I kind of feel like, you know, breath work, mindfulness, yoga, you know, all of these, like journaling, these modalities have fucking changed my life, bro. And I feel like a part of my assignment is to be the bridge between me and these tools that have changed my world and our people. You feel what I'm saying? Like really showing them, like trying to contribute to breaking up the stigma around some of these modalities, these fucking life-changing 1,000-year-old practices. You feel what I'm saying? So Bridgehaven, that's where the name Bridgehaven came from. It's like, yeah, like let me introduce you to the shit that in the East they've been doing. You know, it's a big part of culture, and that, you know, white folks are on and taking advantage of, but we look at it as, oh, that's some white shit. Like, nah, bro, we got to get off that. You know, like I said, mindfulness, you know, I'm a big advocate for meditation. I'm a big advocate for journaling. I'm a fucking yogi. I'm a whole fucking yogi. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, so that's the vision, man. And obviously no Wi-Fi in this fucking spot. You feel what I'm saying? We growing our own food right there on the premises. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the vision long term, bro.
Man, I love that, bro. We need that, man. I will go there. I will go there this weekend, bro, if you had it up.
So what's the end game for you? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the next 5-10 years? What's the plans? What's the goals? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Man, that's kind of what I'm in the process of, like recreating or reimagining what I'm doing right now, man. And I'm kind of in the stage you're at with like dealing with a lot of like shadow work, you know what I mean? Going through a lot of times and really doing my best right now to stay out my own way, you know what I mean? And receive the proper information, man, there's proper instructions to really make my move and really get my Bridgehaven so I can understand like the direction to travel. Right now I have an app go up, you know what I mean, that I'm working on that talk about the 4 quadrants, the mindset, the nutrition, the lifestyle, and obviously the physical fitness portion of it. We have programs on there. So get that out. Just continue to promote that. Have a little community that I jump on live like once or twice a week to kind of talk about like real inner work, healing, and kind of talk about like people that kind of understand this level of information, you know what I mean? But because this is paramount right now for me, like, you know what I mean? And so I want a community that kind of understands, man, the importance of, like, you know what I mean, being conscious, being aware in a time that we're in, because we are in a pivotal time, I believe. And I feel like people are really at a crossword, man, road, and you got to pick a direction pretty soon, like, you know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, man. So doing that, man, if you're figuring out, my kids are getting so old, So I'm like, man, I'm almost going through that midlife thing where I'm like, man, like,
Do you
know
want
what I
more
mean?
kids?
What's that?
Do you want more kids?
I'm not counting it out, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
counting it
Shouldn't.
out.
You
I'm not
shouldn't.
counting.
You shouldn't. You
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Oh, what about you, Brix and Will?
I do, for sure. Yeah,
I,
hell yeah.
I think so too, bro. I think as we get older, I mean, I kind of feel like it does two things. I think number one, it kind of makes us kind of like feel a little bit younger, like we kind of get to do some things over again. And I do think kids are a legacy. I do. I think as men, that's kind of like the idea of like, for me, I always think of kids as like immortality. Your kids are your legacy, and those are the ones who are going to tell your story when you're long and gone. So your kids. So if we do what we're supposed to do during this time, our kids should tell our stories to their kids, and then they should tell their stories to your kids. And that's, to me, is how you leave an imprint on society. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it, man.
And I also think, you know, for me, I didn't know what my ass from my elbow when I became a father the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know.
I'm telling you, that's why I want to do it too,
Yeah,
man. I'm
I
like,
didn't
man,
know
I want to
who I
go another route
was.
at this.
I didn't know what I was doing, and I just know that, you know, the humans that I would bring into this world with the human that I would choose to do it with, this world needs. You feel what I'm saying? This world would need those humans that we would create together. You feel what I'm saying? And then I think, yeah, I also just from a place, you know, being a father, a new father as a king, is a totally different experience, you know, than it was the first time where, you know, I didn't fucking know myself. I didn't know shit about life. I didn't know what I was doing, bro. So just being able to atone, you know, the mistakes that I've made the first time around and really get to experience it with more intention and awareness, right? Because I feel like being a father is one of the greatest gifts, you know, that life has to offer. So being able to do it right this time, you know, not as a co-parent, right? I mean, who knows how it ends up being, like I'm not trying to add, you know, put any parameters on the experience, but I just know this time around it would be a completely different experience, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's funny, man. We all kind of similar, like, you know what I mean? Idea. We see reality pretty similar, man. And does any, because that's one thing that's one of my traumas right now, Brix, man. I feel like, man, I was like, damn, I could have been a better father, bro. And so I get guilt. I get guilt, man. Like, you know what I mean? That'd be making me want to just, you know what I mean? My face just
And that's
get
the
messy.
heaviest. No, I feel that, bro. No, I feel you, man. And especially me, like my daughter's 8, she's about to turn 18. She's in college now. And she is so articulate about her opinions of me as a father, as a man. You feel what I'm saying? And it's so hard to hear that shit. But I raised her to be very like, yo, tell me what you feel. Tell me your thoughts, right? I always wanted to create that space for her to express herself freely. And it fucking hurts, bro. It hurts to hear some of that shit, right? It's real, you know? But yeah. Willie, his son is going into his senior season. He's a star running back. You know, he's playing at a big school out here in Virginia Beach. You know, so yeah, man, he's a stud, bro. Like his young boy is a stud, bro. I'm excited about this season.
That's awesome, man. He a senior in high school this year?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, man, we got 2 seniors, man. What is he does he want to play college football?
He does. Actually, it was funny when you first talked about it. Howard's one of the target schools he wants to go to.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a 4.0 kid. He's a great kid. Very dope.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. He might be out there with my son, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. That's a good school, man. They got my son. They won the lead the last 2 years, man. So he got 2 rings.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing, bro. So I definitely
intentional, man. That's the game. LeVar Ball did it.
Yeah, that's a fact. You got to breed these joints nowadays, man. Athletes are bred intentionally.
Man, you got to be intentional about everything you're doing nowadays.
Nah, that's a fact. That is a fact.
You only got one wheel, or you got more than one?
I got 2. I got a daughter that actually lives in the DC area, and then my son is a senior. He lives with me.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's beautiful, man. You got your son with you.
Yeah. Single father.
Me too. Yeah, my son with me too now.
Yeah. Your son is 17, Brix?
No, my son is 16. Yeah, he's 16.
Yeah, junior or sophomore?
He's going into his junior year.
Okay. Wow, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. We I mean, all three of us, man, we had such a pivotal point in our reality, man. Like it's almost, we wake up, we don't got a choice but to go hard, man, but to put in the work. Cause we know these kids is watching our every move.
Yes,
like,
sir.
you know what I'm saying? Like
And it's a beautiful
real.
pressure. It's beautiful. I love it, man. It's tough. It definitely has its moments, but it's beautiful, man. I feel so alive. Like all of the challenges and the ups and downs of all of this shit, bro. It just makes me feel so alive.
Yeah.
For sure, man. I'm grateful.
What you on though now, right now, Brix? What's your next move?
Man, right now, bro, I'm going through this rebrand. You know, like I'm rebranding. I'm trying to get from underneath just the fitness umbrella, and just not necessarily like, I still want to support people in weight loss, but I want to talk to a high performer, bro. Right? I spent a lot of time building an audience that weren't action takers. So now I'm niching down. I'm disconnecting from the metrics. Like I'm not fucking, I don't care about the views and I'm tracking different metrics now. My metrics is fucking leads generated. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about how many views a video gets. If I'm getting quality leads from people who are trying to take action on these things that I've built, these life-changing services and programs and all of that thing, that's what matters now. So I'm just trying to speak to a more sophisticated mind of an individual who's ready for implementation, not just like consumption and entertainment. Like, I'm talking directly to people who want to, make some changes, and I want to be a part of that. So that's big for me. I got a group coaching program. It's called the We Are Gods, right? The We Are Gods Wellness. Group coaching program, and that's going really well. We got about 40 some odd members.
Wow.
And it's awesome. It's a kind of a mid ticket, right? It's about $2,200 for the year, right? So it's a mid ticket product, and then obviously I still have my one-on-one coaching program. But right now I'm looking to scale things, bro. So I'm more in a search right now for, and this is good that we're having this conversation on the pod, because if anybody's listening, I'm looking for a chief growth operations person, right? So someone to really help me just scale this business, bro, because entrepreneurship is not, a natural thing for me, bro. It's a very unique skill set. I'm a passion person, right? I have the story, I have the passion and the drive, but as far as the logistics of business, that's not my strong suit. And I honestly don't care for it to be. You feel what I'm saying? I would rather have a partner in place that can kind of, drive the ship from that, so I can just thrive in my genius. So that's kind of where I am right now. I feel like, my current partner and I have taken this thing as far as we can take it. So now it's like time to, leverage some more support. So that's kind of where, top of mind for me right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Likewise, man. I feel like when you're a creator, it's two different minds you're working with. When you're trying to create, like, that's a different, we right brain, that's a left brain activity, man.
It's
like,
so hard to try to do both. Man,
yeah. And you kind of get hard on yourself because you feel like you should be able to do everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, because that's exactly what I'm dealing with, man. So if you find a growth operator, man, I need one too.
Yeah, seriously. And I got a few really good candidates that I'm excited about. So yeah, I'll keep you in the loop, bro, because if that's something that we can kind of have someone tag team, I'm with that. That'd be dope. That would be super dope. Man. Yeah.
I love it, man. I'm looking forward to your bridge haven too, bro.
Yeah, man.
What's that? 1, 3, 5, 10?
No. So I'm looking. I found a person to partner up with, right? Who already owns the land.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
Let's go.
So we're going to be working on. I definitely want to buy half of the land. So it's like an 8-acre piece. So I'm looking at buying 4 acres from her. And so I'm just waiting for my son to graduate. You feel what I'm saying? Once my son graduates, then I'll be free to, move. You feel what I'm saying?
Go south.
I'm moving straight to Belize, bro. Like, I always have a place here, but I'm trying to get the fuck out of the U.S., bro, and these shenanigans. I'm not with the shenanigans. The shenanigans of this place,
bro. I feel you, Brix. We need to
trying to get the fuck out of here.
I feel, bro, the same way, man.
I'm trying to get the fuck out of here, man. Get me close to the nature. Get me closer to nature. Get me close to a culture of people who just like, who values fucking togetherness and family and respecting the environment. Like, bro, I just want to get away from this shit, bro. Like, I don't want to, bro, if I never have to put on a designer fucking piece of clothes and only put on closed-toe shoes when I'm working out, bro, that's the life for me right there, my nigga. Like,
bro, I'm telling you, man,
no
we
bullshit.
Kindred spirits, bro. We kindred spirits, man. What's about you, Will? What's your move?
Yeah, for me, I just constantly just working on some of my stuff in my professional career. I also have a big passion for like creating my own brand. So I've been working with Brix a lot. So I've been wanting to work on my own like social content, just more like lifestyle content. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. And then obviously like for me, anytime, you know, things that Brix is working on, I'm always there to figure out how I can support him. So all these moves that he's working on is always like a part of me too. Like we usually are like-minded. So I've been working with the channel for quite some time and want to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Willie is a very dynamic individual, bro. Like this man, yeah, nah, he's a fly ass, smart ass, great dad. He has his own he's been coaching Pop Warner football for some years. He's a legend in this area, you know, in the coaching world. He's very passionate about, you know, serving the community in that way, bro. He loves those kids that he coaches. He's just one of the most genuine, you know, I'm just so blessed to call this man my friend, man. So like, yeah, this is one of the dopest humans walk on the face of the planet, like in so many ways.
Awesome,
I received that.
Shout out Will, man.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. This is my dog, man. Like,
Yeah,
I'll die for that nigga. No bullshit.
I'm telling you, man. That's what the Bible say about that, man. That's better than rubies and pearls, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Diamonds and rubies is having a real friend.
Yeah,
Nah,
If
that's
you find one in this lifetime, counting the blessing.
Nah, that's a fact, bro.
Thank you.
And yeah, truly, man. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this conversation. I kind of figured I had a fucking list of questions and shit. I kind of figured it would go this direction because this is how we, you know, this is just how we talk, you and I, D. So, yeah, I appreciate your time, bro. We definitely got to do this again so I can just extract more. And this was valuable for sure, right? Yeah. They need to hear these type of conversations for sure. But I really want to pick your mind on some of your expertise because you have so much to offer in these conversations around longevity and optimizing your physical form. So I would definitely love to get you back on so we can, you know, get some of those gems from you. And yeah,
do a
bro,
real podcast next time. My bad, bro.
No. I love this though. I love it. Listen, bro, we following the spirit, bro, and this is the way things were supposed to go, man. So I loved it. We definitely got to come down here in Clearwater and kick it with you real soon, bro. For sure.
Yes.
You always welcome, man. Get some workouts in, get some content, man. Hit the beach, man. Simple life, man. You don't got to bring no closed shoes, man. You just work out on the beach, bro. I'm telling you.
Say less. Yeah. All right, squad. Make sure you guys follow Mr. Infinity on social media. All of his Instagram handle, his website, all of that stuff will be in the show notes. Make sure you guys screenshot the podcast, share it with us on social media, tag me and Willie. And yeah, until next week. Peace, y'all.